Well, guys, I hate to tell ya, I've got some bad news. I'm really sorry, guys. What we were all hoping for has yet to happen, it would seem. Donald Trump, the last 4 days, has not in fact been, held up in some military hospital. Well, at least not as far as we can tell. It would appear, in fact, that he's been maybe just fine, if not in and out of medical care, because he just appeared on camera in front of the nation and actually gave an on-video public national address. So as of right now, Donald Trump is definitely not dead. Not that any of us would ever wish for such a thing, of course. This announcement definitely has some weird vibes to it. I watched a few moments of it on my own, and it definitely had some, let's just say some things about it were a little bit fishy. And so I thought we'd go ahead and give it a watch and see if you guys agree with some of the things I pulled from watching it. I think it's still really fishy how radio silent the White House and the Trump family had been for the last few days as all of this was happening. I think there's a lot more to talk about coming straight from this very video. And of course, we have to talk about the new announcements Trump has made and the horrible policy decisions that he's decided to announce here. So let's go ahead and give this a watch. There he is, guys. He's still alive. I'm so sorry, folks.
Well, thank you very much. It's a very important day and an important announcement with great friends of mine. I think I can say this group is every one of them.
His hand is still rotten. You can still get a look at the top of his hand. It still looks a little gray there, from what I can tell.
I rate it 10. I can't always say that, even if they're Republicans, and these are Republicans, great Republicans. I want to thank you all for being here for this important announcement, 7 years in the making. As you know, this has been going on for a long period of time, and I am thrilled to report that the U.S. Space Command headquarters.
Are we sure that's not a body double? I cannot promise you that Donald Trump is not the man who sold the world. It is very possible that what we're looking at right now is Venom Trump. It's very possible.
Headquarters will move to the beautiful locale of a place called Huntsville, Alabama, forever to be known from this point forward as Rocket City. Okay, so Huntsville.
What? He is going to turn Huntsville, Alabama into a Space Force base called Rocket City. I know for a fact Twitter has got to be aflame right now with Team Rocket jokes. People tweeting about like, Team Rocket is gonna be there, me showing up to Rocket City and the Rocket Grunts block my way and demand a Pokemon battle. I know people gotta be making memes like that right now. I can see them flashing through my mind. Okay, so Trump is literally trying to become Giovanni from Pokemon. I see. Okay. Honestly, that is very believable and very in character for this guy.
Alabama, we love Alabama. I only won it by about 47 points. I don't think that influenced my decision, though, right? That didn't, right? But
I love how they're all like smugly laughing, like, oh yeah, I didn't influence the decision. No, you're not playing favoritism. I don't even know if anybody would even give a fuck about Space Force being based in their state, but I guess Alabama is going to be the Space Force capital of America. When people think Alabama, they're gonna think space military now. Not, I guess, fucking your sister or whatever people think of when they think Alabama now.
Competition for this, and Alabama's getting it. Huntsville in particular, so congratulations, everybody. Katie, congratulations.
Rocket City.
This will result in more than 30,000 Alabama jobs and probably much more than that, and hundreds of millions of dollars of investment.
I need the blood of Mewtwo to keep me alive. You gotta find him. He broke out of Trump Tower about 5 years ago. You need to hunt him down and extract his blood, his adrenalized blood. The adrenalized blood of Mewtwo can save my life from the horrible rot that's taking my hand away from me and working its way to my heart. Get me all the Pokemon.
And that's billions, because it can't be millions. It's billions and billions of dollars. Most importantly, this decision will help America defend and dominate the high frontier, as they call it. I want to thank Secretary Pete Hegseth. He's doing a fantastic job. And Secretary of the Air Force Troy Mink. Troy, thank you very much. Great job you're doing, Troy. This is such a big deal. This is one that
Okay. Can I just say, why does Donald Trump look healthier here and very different, heavier in particular here, than in the photos we've been getting of him the last couple days? Because what it feels like is the photos we've been getting of him the last couple days are body doubles. That's what they look like. This looks like Trump. Why? Like, Trump looks relatively healthy here, besides, like, the hand stuff and obviously his cankles and the health problems we already know he has. But, like, why would they use a body double for when he's going out to golf or whatever? Also, I haven't mentioned this before, but people have gotten a bunch of video of random objects being thrown out the windows of the White House onto the White House lawn. Like, people caught it on camera with, like, drones and shit like that. So there could be a number of reasons for that to be happening, but it just seems like a very bizarre thing to be happening at the White House. Yeah, he called that AI. Was that AI? I haven't actually seen the clip that people are talking about. It's just everyone was, like, reporting on it. Like, random objects seen thrown out window of the White House. And it's like, gee, what is happening? I don't know. Let's get right back into it, though. But first, if you've enjoyed this video so far and you want to support it in the algorithm, help to boost it, and maybe choke out the chuds who are pushing out right-wing propaganda that are bolstering this administration right now, then please consider liking and commenting down below. It really does mean a lot and helps a ton. I appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe as well if you want to see more from me in the future. With that said, though, let's get right back into the topic.
everybody wanted to know, what are you doing? I also want to thank Senators Katie Britt, and I want to give my condolences. Your grandmother, her grandmother just passed away. She was 100, right?
100, and she loves you, Mr. President.
Well, and she was very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Very, very proud of you. So thank you, Katie.
Wonderful woman.
She must have been. To produce you indirectly, I can tell you she had to be. Tommy Tuberville, who's a great coach, and I won't say anything about what happened with Alabama football this weekend.
Why does this guy look like such a fucking creature? Like, my eyes blurred for a second because I'm tired, and I legit saw this guy, like, my brain filled in the gaps, and I legit, swear to God, I hallucinated this guy as some kind of Russian sleep experiment YouTube thumbnail. He looked like a grinning, like, skinwalker creature. It was horrifying. And then I realized, wow, a lot of these people kind of look oddly monstrous if you kind of unfocus your eyes for a second and, like, let your brain fill in the gaps. It's kind of crazy.
Leave that out.
But you're not used to that, right? You're not used to that. But Tommy, Auburn won, is right. They did. So you're happy. Tommy's been a great senator.
Trump's eyes look worse than normal for him. I mean, he could be tired. I'm certainly tired right now, but honestly, yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from. He does not look... Granted, he is getting old, but... yeah, I can see what you mean. There's definitely something odd about his face right now. He's definitely dealing with some kind of medical problems. We know he's got the cankles and the hand rot that's caused by something. The question is, how serious is it? How long does he have? I don't know. It definitely looks like he's worn down a little thin here. He's not as energetic as we're used to. Like, this is definitely a low-energy Trump compared to what I'm used to seeing. He hasn't, like, made a lot... like, it seems like the majority of the energy is the people behind him. Also, like, everyone behind him looks like they're all absolutely terrified that any second Donald Trump is going to, like, collapse or burst out coughing or, like, vomit on stage or something. Like, they all look scared. Like, they're all standing behind him, like, ready to grab him and hold him up if he starts, like, coughing and falling down to his knees or something. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see if he looks like he's trying to keep his shit together while absolutely not having his shit together on the inside. Let's continue watching and see.
You know, and a fantastic guy all around. He was also a tremendous coach. House Armed Services Committee Chair Mike Rogers. Thank you, Mike. Where's Mike? Mike, thank you very much. Doing great, Mike. Representatives Barry Moore, all great friends, Robert Adderholt, Gary Palmer, and Dale Strong. Thank you all very much, fellas. Appreciate it. In my first term, I created a thing called Space Force. So important. You know, we were losing the race in space very badly.
There are no wars in space, Trump. We are not losing anything to do with space. There are no wars or conflicts or races to space right now. The only thing that we're losing right now is America's ability to have public spaceflight opportunities because you and Republicans for decades have privatized the space industry and handed all of that funding over to people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
To China and to Russia. And now we're far and away number one in space. And reestablish Space Com with a mission to protect American space assets and detect any threat to our homeland. We initially selected Huntsville for the Space Com headquarters, yet those plans were wrongfully obstructed by the Biden administration.
I'm gonna be honest, Trump. Get this shit out of my face until we've got a Spartan program and we've got Master Chiefs out there fighting Halo Covenant. When we're fighting aliens with an army of Master Chiefs, that's when I'll give a fuck about Space Force. But until then, stop bullshitting me, bro. This is some nonsense, waste of U.S. tax dollars bullshit.
And as you know, they moved them to a different locale. And today we're moving forward with what we want to do and the place that we want to have this. And this will be there for hopefully hundreds of years. That's where it's going to be. I will say I want to thank Colorado. The problem I have with Colorado, one of the big problems, they do mail-in voting. They went to all mail-in voting. So they have automatically crooked elections.
Bro, you ain't gonna live to run for a third term, brother. You're not gonna live to run for a third term, you old sack of manure. Sir. Marty McFly is going to go back in time soon and fix you being a millionaire and president. We don't have to worry about this much longer. Chill out, bro. Like, why are you so dedicated to destroying democracy before the end of this term? You said you weren't running for a third term, so... You thinking about changing your mind on that? Obviously, he only said he wasn't going to dissuade the media frenzy over it, but he clearly intends to run for a third time. Well, for a third term, not a third time. A fourth time, third term.
And we can't have that. When a state is for mail-in voting, that means they want dishonest elections because that's what that means. So that played a big factor also. In Huntsville, Space Com will play a key role in building the Golden Dome, as you know. That's going to be a big thing. Everybody.
The Golden Dome. We're going to have such great protection from all the bombs that we get sent that get thrown at us on a daily basis by our enemies. The Golden Dome.
I love how we're just fully, trying to become Israel, too. Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what America should do. Just try to become Israel, but bigger, stronger, and eviler. Awesome.
He wants to be a participant in it. Missile Defense Shield. We're going to be having a Golden Dome that the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. The finest, the best. And by the way, Canada called. They want to be a part of it, and that'll be great. But Canada wants very much to be included in that, and we're going to work something out with.
I don't know about that. I don't know. The Canadians seem, well, to say the very least, not too happy with Donald Trump or America. So is Canada getting, manhandled right now and, forced to cooperate in this? He needs Canada's cooperation if he wants his Golden Dome to be able to spot missiles from further than 3 minutes away. Also, no, we don't want to be a part of it. Hey, so he's just bullshitting right now. Okay. Well, he doesn't speak for Canada. He is not, in fact, president of Canada, the 51st state of the United States. It is still its own sovereign country until he, nuts up enough to invade and annex it.
with them, I hope. It will also ensure that our technological capabilities, of which we're way ahead of anybody else, there's nobody close, remain unmatched long into the future. So I'd like to ask Secretary Hegseth to say a few words. He was very much a part of it. And really, everybody behind me was. Every one of these people would call me and lobby me. I said, Katie, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I know what you want. She said, that's right, sir. That's what I want. And they got their way. So I just want to congratulate. These are really special people. They're politicians in many ways, but they're great patriots, I think even more so than politicians. So they fought very hard to get it, and it's an honor to give it to Huntsville. Pete, say a few words, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. As usual, right.
This is Pete Hegseth, massive piece of shit, horrible person. Remember his name. He will be in the history books as one of the most disgraced people in American politics, in American history. Yeah, considering your kids will probably have to answer test questions about this guy and how he fucked up America in the future when they're in school, might as well pay attention now so you can help them with their homework.
Place, right time, for the right reason. In your first administration, you established the Space Force at a time when we knew we had to be looking to that domain of space. You also reestablished SpaceCom to ensure that priority was put in place, and you, through the Air Force, independently identified that Huntsville, Alabama was the right place to put it. For other reasons, in the next administration under Biden, they decided.
For all I know, Huntsville, Alabama might be a pretty good place to put it, just sort of for a variety of reasons. And if he listened to the experts, then yeah, the Air Force would probably have been like, yeah, we basically calculated 1 billion different probabilities and you know, different variables and decided, yeah, Huntsville, Alabama. If we could have our outpost, our base HQ be here, this would be perfect. And Trump said, all right, sounds good. Assuming that's how it went. Oh my god, look at Homeboy. Oh my lord, is he okay? No, dog. Like, I can see his yitties sticking out through his suit. Who the fuck was the body double we were seeing in those photos of him the other day where I was showing you how much skinnier he was looking in those golf photos? Like the photos where he was heading out to play golf, supposedly? Why, like, you can see his fucking yitties on either side of the part in his suit jacket. Brother. Donald Trump Jr., you think? No, it was not DJT. Or D... It was not DTJR. DTJR. It was not him. It was definitely Trump in that photo, or at least it's supposed to be. But look at bro. Dude, he looks like... Bro, could he be wearing a fat suit right now? What if they know that, like, he looks really... like, emaciated now, so he's wearing some kind of suit. Like, to puff him up. You know what I mean? Could it be that? Seriously, why is there no camera sounds or anything? It's dead silent in there? That is kind of odd.
Decided to move it somewhere else. Well, during that...
you see speeding him up actually makes him sound healthier than he does. That's true, yeah. I do have this sped up. Just keep that in mind. He's talking way slower than it sounds like he is.
That time. The DOD Inspector General, the Government Affairs Office, they did their own assessments. And where did they say SpaceCom should go? Huntsville, Alabama. So what you're doing today, Mr. President, is restoring it to precisely where it should be based on what the Space Force, the Air Force, your leadership believes will give us strategic advantage in the future. That is Huntsville, Alabama. We are way ahead in space, but this will ensure we stay leaps and bounds ahead because that's the most important domain. Whoever controls the skies will control the future of warfare. And, Mr. President, today you're ensuring that happens. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Katie, would you like to say something?
We're going to have so much war.
Mr. President, we are grateful for your leadership on this and restoring Space Command to its rightful home in Huntsville, Alabama. This delegation has worked...
Dude, it's so fucking crazy. Have you ever noticed, like, the, like, women who do the Donald Trump, like, sycophancy? You can really tell they don't believe that shit, because they are going full Meryl Streep. Like, they're putting on an act, bro. Like, you can tell she does not believe a word of this Trump, like, worship shit. She's just doing what she's got to do to be a part of, like, the most powerful circle of people in the most powerful country on the planet. She is just inflating this guy's ego so she can keep a good position, a powerful position. And you know what? She would be stupid not to.
Together, both chambers,
I believe this is Pam Bondi.
Parties to make sure that Huntsville was the place that Space Command called home. As was mentioned, obviously the Biden administration chose to make this political. What we want to do is put the safety and security of Americans first. We want to make sure that our warfighter is put first. And we want to make sure that America continues to lead. And today, Mr. President, you've allowed that to happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tommy? Please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. This is a great day for our country, not just for our state of Alabama.
Well, that guy is definitely from Alabama. Yeah, I can tell. Hello, sir.
We need help in our military.
That's an Alabama accent.
We need to catch up. And as Secretary Hess said, we're not behind in space.
He's married to all his
cousins. We know where we're at, and we need to expound on that. Now, this move will save the taxpayers $480 million. It's not going to cost more. It's going to cut $480 million. We have the plan.
I promise you, it is not going to save us more than if Trump did not start Space Force and dedicate shitloads of our tax dollars to funding it. I promise you that's not how that works. That is probably an easy-to-believe lie for your average American retard, though.
Plan's intact. It'll be behind a secure wall in Huntsville, Alabama, at Redstone Arsenal. We have 40,000 people there. We have the FBI there. We have missile defense there. We have NASA,
MAGA.
Blue Origin, and SpaceX. It is the perfect place for Space Command. I would tell you today, and I've spoke with the President for the last 3 or 4 years about this. If I thought it needed to go somewhere else because I understand the security of our country, I'd be for that. But the best place for Space Command is Huntsville, Alabama, because what we have and what it means to this country is going to be so important. So thank you, Mr. President, for this, and we look forward to building a huge Space Command and having the Donald J. Trump Space Command Center in Huntsville, Alabama.
Sure. Well, Mr. President, thank you. I'll be very brief here. I lobbied the president hard to put it in Ohio, but he said these people behind us, these Alabama.
Hey there, Boris. What's this fantasy, Boris?
My favorite bit from the South Park episodes where we get Donald Trump and J.D. Vance is like a little creature. It's where he's like,
Back into the cum towel, boss. Relax, guy.
yeah, it's so fucking good, dude. That is literally, man, J.D. Vance is actually just Trump's little goblin, you know, his little mini-me, like, supervillain, small-statured henchman. Poor Towley. I'm excited to find out what's going on with Towley right now at the White House. You know, it's crazy how much crazy shit has happened since the last South Park episode about Trump has dropped. I don't even know what subject matter they're going to touch on this time. What day is it again? Tuesday? We got 2 days until we find out, I guess.
Are just too powerful and too persuasive. And so it's in Alabama, but as Tommy said, this is exactly the right place for Space Force and Space Command. I think Americans ought to appreciate the fact that you can't win the battle of the future unless you control the skies. The cyber security, the communications, the entire infrastructure of the battle in the 21st century will be in space. So it was a visionary move in the first administration for the president to set up Space Force, and I think an equally visionary move to make sure that Space Force is right where it should be in Huntsville, Alabama. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, anybody want to say anything? Would you like to say?
Mr. President, another promise made, another promise kept. You think about it, Redstone Arsenal is critical to national security. The president said when you were the 45th president, let's do what's right for national security. And
this is such a bizarre... I don't know, guys. Does this feel weird for Trump to make a big deal out of? Like, why is everybody here doing this massive, like, oddly not public, but still very live-streamed and meant to be publicized explanation of Space Force having headquarters in Huntsville, Alabama? This just isn't like... I don't know. This news is not the kind of thing that really makes much sense. Then again, the thing we've all been confused about is why Trump for the last 5 days has made no excuses to appear on camera, to appear on TV. And it appears right now he's just back to doing what he normally does. Then again, this could just be a way to dissuade the rumor milling. I don't know. At this point, I'm going to assume that Trump is old and sickly, but not actively dying, until otherwise, you know, any other evidence comes up to suggest that, you know, maybe things are worse for him than we thought before. Maybe things are better for him than we thought before. We'll find out. At the end of the day, time passes, and Donald Trump's an old guy. Whatever happens, there is one final option, and that one is inevitably coming, and it is closer with each passing day. So if that's what you're waiting for, then I promise you, you don't have that much longer to wait. It would seem like the McDonald's is creeping its way through his arteries into his heart as we speak. Anyway, folks, if you enjoyed this segment, if you found it enjoyable, educational, or entertaining in any way whatsoever, then please consider leaving a like and a comment down below on this video. It really does help a lot, as I said before in the segment earlier when I asked you guys to like and comment. It does boost me in the algorithm, so I appreciate it a ton, but it's also free, so, you know, just consider hitting that button. And if you want to see more from me in the future, be sure to follow my social medias linked down below in the description, subscribe and ring the bell icon, and of course, if you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buy some custom Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below. Regardless of how you support me, though, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, have a good one.